close out. Take a few seconds. You can start when you're ready.
Yep. Hello, my name is Andrew Nayrud. I'm a computer science and math double major here at CSB SJU. When I first came to college, I thought the goal was quite simple. Get good grades, land an internship, and figure out a career. I saw education as something personal, something to give me the background for my main field of study. Coming from a very scientific background, I tend to look at things analytically. I would try to find the truth and apply it whenever I need to think, problem solve, or think about complex situations. However, after the numerous experiences and classes I've had through my college journey, my way of thinking has shifted. Particularly, being able to see the real world and apply interdisciplinary thoughts allowed me to truly understand. If I could sum it up as one statement, I would say that real understanding begins when you learn to see the world through more than just your own eyes. I hope that'll make sense as I begin to describe some of my experiences to you. One of the most powerful moments in my college experience came during my honors course on cultural systems. Our class reviewed archived library pieces from the 1940s. My group's articles were newsletters written at the Native American boarding schools that once stood where the College of St. Benedict is now. At first, they seemed positive, filled with cheerful language about school events. But once we looked closer, we realized the truth. They were covering up efforts to erase Native American identity and culture. These weren't just harmless schools. They were part of a larger system of assimilation. What made this experience different was that it didn't stop at the classroom. We sent our research to the White Earth Reservation to support their cultural revitalization work. That showed me something lasting. Education becomes real when it connects with people, when it means something beyond the grade. It also reminded me that the most important truths aren't always obvious. Sometimes you have to read between the lines, or you may have to put yourself in someone else's shoes to even know what you're missing. Now, I want to continue with something that really opened my eyes, an experience that allowed me to see the real world and connect it with my learning. In the summer following my freshman year, I was able to intern at a company for software development. It was my first time working in the actual tech industry, and I expected it to be mostly technical. Coding, solving problems, and applying what I'd learned in my CS courses. But that summer completely changed the way I viewed my education. Sure, I used my technical skills, but I also had to collaborate with people from different departments and even different countries daily. I had to explain my work clearly, adapt quickly, and think critically on the spot. That's when I started to understand the value of a liberal arts education. I wasn't just using what I learned from one field. I was pulling ideas from writing, ethics, communication, and cultural understanding. It helped me see problems more clearly, not just through the lens of code, but through the lens of people and the customers using our software. Looking back, that experience showed me that the most effective solutions don't just come from technical skill. They come from understanding how your work affects the people around you. And I think that's what the common good looks like in practice. Lastly, another interesting lesson I learned came from two very different classes, a theology course and a computer science ethics seminar. In theology, we study belief and doubt in the sense that doubt isn't a negative idea. It's a tool. It provides a way to challenge assumptions and move closer to truth. That idea stuck with me. It made me realize that being open to doubt means being open to growth and seeing what you might be missing. That same theme came up again in my CS ethics course. We had to write about a controversial AI topic, but with a twist. We had to argue our point without trying to force agreement. That was harder than I expected, but it taught me that real communication isn't just about proving a point. It's about creating space for other perspectives. These classes couldn't have been more different in content, but they both pushed me to slow down, think critically, and respect the complexity of other people's perspectives. Whether it was theology or computer science, the lesson was the same. Truth isn't simple. It's shaped by how we understand it and by how willing we are to listen, question, and reflect. When I look back on everything, the classes, the projects, the unexpected conversations, I've realized that college didn't just teach me content. It taught me how to approach the world with more awareness, more responsibility, and a greater sense of connection to others. Whether I was analyzing a philosophical idea, working across cultures in my internship, or reflecting on history, the real community partnerships, one lesson kept repeating. We grow the most when we step outside our own perspective. That's what the common good is really about. It's not just doing what's helpful. It's understanding who you're doing it for and why it matters. So, if I had to sum up what college taught me, it's this. Real understanding doesn't start with having the right answers. It starts with asking better questions, listening closely, and being open to the possibility that someone else's view might help you see more clearly. Thank you.